But that was based on how well they were playing. Like, they made IG, which admittedly they've had a bit of a rough patch since they went on their huge winning streak. But then no pushovers. They made them look really bad, and that's obscenely impressive.
Turn to ban.
A lot of it though was like their offlane player, and his main hero is banned out. So CDEC did their homework. And it has been so long since I've seen a clockwork in the bans in the first 4.
10 seconds remaining.
Likewise, I mean, we saw yesterday basically LGD, EHOME. These were two of the few teams, or rather two of the Chinese teams, where they actually ran the clockwork. They showed how impressive it could be, what kind of impact it brought to the game. So I don't think it shouldn't be that much of a surprise. More like it's about time the clock got banned. We saw Old 11, he had a really impressive game with the clockwork yesterday. So I guess the only question we should really be asking is what offlaning heroes is he going to play next? Because Omni Knight, Clock, Magnus, Abaddon, all these are the usual heroes which have been taken out.
LGD's turn to pick.
Well, Sand King's definitely an option for him this game. I'd say it's worse as an offlaner than as a support though, purely because CM and Conquer are both excellent at dealing with the hero. And if the other two teams' supports are good at dealing with one of your cores, it isn't ideal for you.
5 seconds remaining.
Alright, so what else do you see coming into both teams? What else are they lacking for their drafts at the moment?
From LGD's perspective, they already have these 2 huge teamfight contributors. So I imagine they want some kind of way to use that and push towers and gain objectives. Terrorblade's still in the pool. That's a hero that a lot of teams have been favoring recently.
That's true, but so I mean we saw something really fancy come out from LGD as well. Don't forget they still have that Chaos Knight. They actually ran into, I think at level 1 ult he had the extra Phantasm illusion like what 3 times in a row, or was it twice? But still that was.
I think it was 3 out of 4 times that he casted at level 1.
Still.
Or was it 3 out of 3?
3 out of 3. The 4th one was just because he was level 2.
Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah, so I mean LGD could always pull out something like that again. It shows that they don't necessarily have to run by textbook drafts, which they only practice. But okay, for CDEC, if you guys are not sure who is who, Darkrai is Demons. I think Teal should be September, June is Blue, and Setsu should be Shade. Yeah, they kind of changed their names around a tiny bit. I'm not too good with pronouncing the Chinese names quickly on stream, so I had to quickly research their English names. But alright, we see a Monkey King. First game of the day, Monkey King straight up. This makes me happy.
It's been on the downfall as of late though, so this also pushes the Sand King into the offlane position, which as I said earlier, it's not too bad for LGD because they have this huge team fight. But I don't think CDEC will be unhappy with seeing an offlane Sand King. It should be pretty easy for them to deal with, even if the monkey is down there.
If anything, they could be a bit relieved that it's not something more crazy like an Axe. An Axe, I would feel, would be extremely hard for the Jug and Crystal Maiden to properly zone out.
That option's no longer in the pool, unless they want to do something really funky. But I don't think game 1 is the time to do anything funky. You want to like feel out the game more than anything, and in a best of 5, you've got 2 fail-safes in effect. You don't necessarily want to use them, but get a feel for how things are going.
Come on, P. Never forget, it's only the first game of the day, the first game of the series. Maybe LGD, they're thinking a bit funky. They might want to play Monkey King Core. They might be inspired by their pubs.
5 seconds remaining.
You are very, very optimistic.
Well, isn't that our thing, man? I'm the optimistic guy and you're the pessimistic guy.
Yeah, but you keep surprising me. Like you think these teams will do that.
I like to believe, that's all. I like to believe in. I just give people the benefit of the doubt, that's all. Or rather, I give myself doubt too. But oh well, okay, Morphling coming up as a 4th pick. I would have thought you hold that for the last, but picking that into a Bat Rider, that could be a bit of an issue.
I think they pick it somewhat because of the bat as well, though. Like the lane, it's not too easy, but Morphlings can generally work around. The hero doesn't expect to get a free lane. You normally deal with some pressure, but in the mid game, it's really hard for CDEC to catch him. And they already have like overwhelming team fight through their supports and their offlaner, so this hero just gives some admittedly a bit
LGD's
later
turn to
than
ban.
teams would like, but it gives them tower push. Bit later down the line, it gives them a weighty kill rush, and it doesn't let them fall too far behind if the game deteriorates into split push. Because Morphling can effectively go to 3 lanes.
10
Might need
seconds
BOTs to go to
remaining.
all 3, but 2 lanes is still pretty easy with Replica.
Well, if anything, this is
5
a
seconds remaining.
pretty good
Lena.
Lincoln's game, I would say. It's going to help against the X-Mark, it's good against the Bat
Radiant's
Rider.
team
Against
pick.
both of them, not too sure. But LGD, alright, they'll close out their draft with a familiar pick. It's going to be maybe's Lena. But for CDEC, we'll see what they decide to close this out with. Are there... Okay, is it possible that they would put... Okay, I was going to say Juggernaut mid, but never mind, they go for the Storm Spirit. I did not see this coming.
Pretty easy Storm game
Is it?
so far.
I mean, it's good against Monkey King, but against the Lena lane, maybe not so much.
Well, I'd normally agree, but every time I've seen Storm Lina in these Chinese games, the Storm has actually matched, if not done better, on the CSing chart, and Lina has failed to zone him out. And this game, I don't think it's as easy for Monkey to roam mid when you're maybe worried about your offlane not doing so well. Whereas for CDEC supports, it's super easy if they are smoked.
10 seconds remaining.
You probably want both of them though, so it might give LGD a bit of a tell.
5 seconds remaining.
Also, okay, I think when it comes to at least this, for the Summit 7 Chinese qualifiers and the games we've casted, every single one of them, all the way till now, Conker has been one of the most impactful supports as a 4. Monkey King, not so much. I mean, we saw, Boboka, when he played the Monkey King, he got destroyed. And Warlock, we haven't seen that many impressive Warlock games as well, have we?
It's mostly because Hero's first picked, and every time he gets focused in fights, he's forced to drop the rock, which you'd always rather do than die with it if your team hasn't already lost the fight. But when you first pick the hero, it gives the enemy team like time to play around it and think about how they're going to deal. The hero is still solid though, like it's kind of like an enigma factor, but not to the same scale. Where you can't just commit on a target and get like 2 to 3 man fatal bond rock, and then expect to still win the fight.
Alright, so there we go. Immediately, both teams smoking up, getting their wards out. This is only game 1 of this amazing best of 5 incoming, guys. For those of you just starting to tune in onto the channel, this is the Summit 7 qualifiers, grand finals, and...
Savage ranked.
Alright. I mean, we have to get these lines in. I'm just waiting for the Crybaby one to come in. Have you heard the Crybaby one yet, PQ?
I have, it's in all the pubs.
I love that.
My teammates spam it at me all the time
Oh, I love
when
that
I'm in
line.
stacks. I mean, that's all the intro you need, right?
It is.
We should just use this every game.
Baby Rage. Every game.
No, Brutal, Savage, Wrecked, and Charge.
Oh, man. And I admit, like, the applause when this kind of comes into my pubs, when someone, like, kind of messes up, someone feeds, and you just go, like... You just clap, you're like, well done, well done.
It's for new, well played.
It is. But alright. Ooh. Demons putting the that observer one not so much into the lane, but more into the cliff. They smoke up, might be able to find the Monkey King, actually. Do they know? Monkey King spotted it out. He was turned into a tree. And alright, dodges the gank, but they will steal the bounty runes. Not so. This is a pretty good start already, getting 3 bounty runes on the side of CDEC. And this is just their way of asserting dominance.
It's a good heads up from them as well to do this lane swap. Their tri-lane is really aggressive. And as I mentioned earlier, they have a pretty good roaming duo. If they connect on the ganks to the mid lane as well, it puts a lot of pressure on LGD. And Batrider does fine in the one-on-one. So this is forcing LGD to move their lanes.
Yeah, speaking of which, Sand King's still at the top lane, which means Batrider has a free lane for at least a while, and this is not a good start. Top lane, they are going onto the Morphling zone already. A bit of a disaster.
Denied.
First blood, going the way to September.
He was gonna struggle to get his TP from the side shops, so Maybe he just tanked the death, right?
Yeah, free trip back to base, right?
I mean, that definitely wasn't intentional, but it's really good for CDEC. And this is not an easy lane for Morphling when Batrider can push the wave out and then pull this camp. And if he gets for stacks and farms it as well, he's going to get way more out of this lane.
Well, I'm not sure Victoria wants to get too close. You can't zone out the Batrider like that, not when he has level 2 with the Firefly and the Napalm stacks. So, I mean, that's what he's doing. He's just throwing all his gunk into Ame and Victoria. This forces the Monkey King to stay in a lane. If anything, it's a really rough, it's a really rough lane for this Morphling and Monkey King.
It is indeed. So, I think despite the fact CDEC are a tiny bit behind on CS at the moment, they've set their lanes up really nicely.
Alright, so isn't this a good thing for Shade as well in the middle lane? Like, this way, it means that the supports are very unlikely to gank him.
Yeah, it's way more likely your supports come to this lane, I feel like, than vice versa. And if the monkey isn't on the map, you've got vision in the bottom lane, so you're going to see where he's roaming, when he's moving away, and you can play accordingly.
Excellent.
He's having a much harder time though than I thought. He's already like a full wave behind maybe.
Yeah, looking at the CS, 13-3 on the Vina. Sorry, excuse me. 7-1 on the Storm Spirit. Well, at least he can just go back to the jungle. We might see one of the supports take over the lane, but you never know. Top lane, Juggernaut also struggling just a tad bit. Fighting or last hitting into the Caustic Finale is not easy, especially since the range is quite big. Torrent flying up, they want to go into the Sand King. Demons is there as well, the Frostbite into the EX mark, a bit of miscommunication, but I don't think they get the kill here with the Shadow Word heal level 1. Still more than enough.
They definitely just had a bit of a misplay there.
Well, Storm Spirit, he pretty much just abandons the lane. Maybe with free farming lane and an Arcane Rune to boot. He's having a good time. Top lane, they did try to get into the Sand King, but nothing much after that.
They want to go now.
Oh, they want to go, okay. Alright. Into the Torrent. There we go, it's going to fly up. Will they get the Sand King? I think they will. Healing Ward as well to give the whole team a bit of healing. Flyby. Having a decent start at least. With the Sand King taken out, he can CS a bit more. But something tells me he may want to go to the Shrine.
Just make sure that you always have kill potential on him. You might lose a few CS for this, but Sand King actually pushed out the wave anyway. And if you don't have mana to kill him, he's going to be like really confident. And that's not what they want, because at the moment CDEC are getting a lot of value from the kills.
Meanwhile, middle lane, they are pinging out this. I think they want to try for a bit of a push, and then they can try to pressure the mid a bit. They are worried about the Storm Spirit, like getting farmed. They have the ward all the way at the right side of the river, but they can't do anything yet because of the way the lanes are.
Regeneration.
Gold for my
It's very clear if someone moves away from these lanes right now.
I have to admit, I was not expecting for the Batrider to be losing out in CS to the Morphling now. Like, alright, here comes the slow from the Monkey King, just having a bit of fun with June.
I mean, I'd expect the Morph to still do fine in CS, and without Batriders stacking the creep wave, it's not the easiest to CS. But he'll still be happy with like getting his levels. I guess he hasn't really abused for side camp too much, which is like the main reason I'd favor him in the matchup. That might be because the monkey's there though.
Meanwhile, speaking of Monkey, he's gonna try and wander a bit into the jungle so he can try and find the Sand King, but at least the ward does kind of scout out in the middle lane. Yep, now it does, and they pretty much know where he is. Now they need info on him to make sure they can try and stifle his farm a bit. He's not doing too well, but he did
Storm
catch up.
just hit 6, so this is no longer a go.
Yep, so that's why he immediately backs out.
It was a nice idea from LGD because they were probably clocking it on like Maybe's levels.
Oh, but middle lane, they want to jump into Maybe, X mark into the Torrent, it will fly up. Do they have enough damage? I think they do with the Vortex damage. Oops, I mean the overcharge damage, definitely more than enough. And now I was going to say that regarding the Monkey King pick, more of the Chinese teams, I think because it was picked so often, so banned, that more teams have just learned how to play against it. Like, no one really cares about the Monkey King pick now.
No, it's become almost normal because the hero is spammed so much. Yeah, I also think the nerfs to the hero are huge. Like, you can hear the spring, the base armor nerf, the lifesteal no longer considering armor now when it didn't at first. These things all made him feel so broken at the start, and now, sure, he's still very versatile and his ult is pretty broken with Basher, but other than that, he feels like a normal hero now.
Well, balance in all things, right?
Affirmative.
At least for his little transformation trick.
I still think that's really annoying to deal with, especially when you get like the courier.
Oh, sorry, top lane.
Move speed.
They go into the Sanking here with the Frostbite into the spin. This should be another kill. 11 Bar Strikes with, okay, double damage on September will finish him off. And actually, it looks like they will dive the tier 1 tower for Yao. Bit of damage spreading around with the Frostbite. This will be more than enough. So both Demons and September getting themselves one nice kill each. Hey, supports are getting money on the side of CDEC.
This is really good for them. LGD so far, they haven't really made their supports matter in the early game. The Warlock sitting in the safe lane getting his levels hasn't really been able to prevent any of the kills. Monkey's been moving around the map, he's managed to get level 4, but again, it's not really accomplished
going into
anything.
maybe in the middle lane. Does he have enough damage? Overcharge? No, actually he does not. Not enough mana. Maybe look at the turnaround of the Laguna Blade. Does he have the Dragon Slave? He doesn't have the mana though, but he has the Soul Ring. Don't think he wants to use it. Setsu could just finish him off, so he's just gonna use it to push up the wave. Really close shave. Top lane going into Old 11 here. Flyby doesn't have enough mana for an Omni Slash. Oh, now it takes the Burst Strike and the Caustic Finale. That's quite a fair bit of damage. Darkrai coming to the top. Well, it's gonna salve up. I don't think they actually get the kill here, do they? Oh, here's a Burst Strike. He'll be okay. But now here comes Victoria. They want to try for a bit of a turnaround, maybe. Maybe he's actually coming to the top lane as well. With the Warlock, a ton of heroes here. They know what's going on. They have to Boundless Strike for the stun if they need to use it, and they will get it. Oh, this could be bad. Demons. He's going to be one to die instead. So they rotate 4 heroes, but on the bright side, Juggernaut does get out.
A good heads up on his part. 4 heroes top for LGD, they only get a support kill.
Money to burn.
But the Morphling's doing okay bottom. He trades with the Batrider, ends up coming out ahead, forcing the Bat back to base. And his CS isn't ideal, but considering the circumstances, he'll be quite happy with this, I think.
He's not doing that bad compared to the Batriders. I mean, to the Juggernaut as well. Jug is actually a bit behind. Now I'm about to catch up, and I mean,
Jug's got the net worth lead, like only on kills.
Radiant's
That's
top tower is under
all that's
attack.
really going for CDEC. Their momentum's really gonna like matter if these supports connect on the next few ganks, I think. And once that Bat picks up a blink, which 3-4 minutes down the line, if he doesn't die, that's when LGD have a issue.
He did go back for the raindrop, but right now the Burst Strike onto him, and plus the Epicenter into the Light Strike Array, he's dead. Dead. So, alright, LGD getting themselves a crucial kill. Bit of space created, opened up for Ame.
Radiant's bottom tower
That's a
is
really
under
important
attack.
rotation. Like, as I said, the Bat's getting decent game, you kill him, you rotate to get the tower on top of that. So really clean stuff. It is all 3 core heroes, but
Bottom tower has fallen.
that's definitely worth it. If they can somehow defend their safe lane, it's even better. Chances of that, though, are pretty slim, I think.
Alright, Demons just casually farming up the creep wave with her ultimate. And Flyby doing some damage, trying to get the tier 1 down ASAP. Warlock's getting a nice bit of EXP, might get level 6
Radiant's bottom tower
from this top lane.
is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
He's got the tomb as well if he wants it, right? No one else is buying it.
So fortification popped. But I think they want to keep pressuring the bottom lane, because Batrider can't go close to the creep wave at all.
Has fallen.
I mean, they're just parking their 3 cores down here, and it's not the most efficient thing, but I don't think it's something they need to worry about right now. Because they don't really have a say on too many things until Warlock gets his golem.
Oh, they want to keep on going. The X-Mark catches him away from the Burrow Strike. X-Mark into the ship, and Torin, bang! Cooked Scorpion. Chinese style. There we go.
Have you ever had Scorpion?
No. I'm too afraid to eat it, man.
So you wouldn't eat it if you had it offered?
Nope. I mean, it depends.
It's only like the tail that's poisonous, though, or like the blood, right? It's not the actual.
But I wouldn't. I mean, would you eat it?
I'd try anything that. I think the only thing I'd have a slight repercussion with is like veal, because of how they're raised. But that's it.
Well, I don't know. I just avoid eating the creepy crawlies.
I'd hate to eat insects, actually, but I don't mind like most animals. I don't think scorpions count as insects, do they? They're like a bit bigger.
But still.
Maybe I'm retarded.
Alright, LGD, they smoke up and they're not gonna find anything. It's just nicely as CDEC, they did bugger off around to the middle lane instead. They did get the top tier 1, so at least a healthy chunk of gold flying into CDEC's economy. It's still pretty evened out, but the Warlock is extremely poor. 700 net worth at 11 minutes in. On the bright side, he has boots and a stick. Okay, they do get the balance strike into the burrow. And Flyby immediately gets out, does not want anything else to do with that. If they had a light strike array, that would have been a different case. And alright, CDEC's turn to smoke. We'll see if they will find themselves a kill. Might be able to net
They should
themselves
find
a
Lina
Lina.
here.
Bad
Got
right.
the vision.
Oh, debut the blink dagger, immediately blinks in for the lasso. Into the crystal bit and ultimate. Into the ship. Ow! Drown her. Okay, there we go. Maybe goes down. And CDEC have no answer for that. Actually, LGD.
And suddenly it's like, it doesn't look so bad from a spectator point of view, but they just tried to make a smoke gank happen. They didn't fail horribly, but it didn't connect. They didn't really get anything out of the smoke happening either. They didn't get vision down, no tower push whatsoever. Whereas CDEC, they smoke on a timing, it connects on top of all their other rotations earlier connecting. They're going to be feeling really good about how this game's going.
Well, Lina's TPing in. If they can find the burrow. All 11 doesn't have a blink dagger yet. Boundless strike actually off the mark. So CDEC not wanting to take the risk, they back off. I think they also understand that Yao has the rock. So that's why they don't want to push into it.
Yeah, good awareness on their part. Meanwhile, their Storm's sitting top farming. It's kind of a trade-off for the Morphling. But I don't think it's too much of an issue if you're trading farm as a Storm. This hero can very easily contest the late game.
Stupendous.
Right, so actually looks like Kunkka will be going for an ATOS if he can. I see the Vitality Booster and the Staff of Wizardry, but Demons, they immediately get a Power Strike into the Boundless, but now they'll use the slow, but the ship coming in, oh, beautiful Torrent, connecting to 2! And LGD, they may be here to pay for their mistakes. Still thinking about using the rock, not gonna use it yet, but looks like Old 11 and Victoria will die anyways. LGD, they've just overextended, looks like they will also give away a third. The lasso comes out, and Yao, flying up his ZA, he will drown in fire and water. So, beautiful triple kills here coming out for CDEC, and they fly away with the kill score 10-2. No 3-0 incoming for you, PQ.
Well, I'm always happy to be wrong on predictions like that. I want to see more games, but right now it looks like CDEC is just reading off a script. And they're just ticking it off as they go. LGD smoke gank, tries to dive out tier 2, we counterplay them with perfect conquer spells. Everything's just going right for them right now.
So all according to plan.
Pretty much. LGD's 2 cores are still farming really well. The Sand King not having his blink yet is the main issue they're running into. And once they get that, I don't think it's going to cause too much of an issue for CDEC, just because they've gotten so much in the early game. Like, their supports have been so crucial. And I was actually having a conversation about this with someone just before this game started. And your cores, if you can enable them, it's a really easy game. But your supports and your offlane are like the core of your victory, I feel like, in Dota now. You just set your cores off. And they've done that this game beautifully.
Indeed. And but like I also like the part where you emphasize on how LGD's supports are not doing too good right now. The combined net worth barely equals to the Crystal Minions net worth, and that's not a good sign. I mean, just look at Maybe. Yeah, he's getting decent farm, but still the impact which he's been able to bring to the game has not been that big.
This is like, you remember when Sumail, I'm not sure if it was an interview or if he was on stream or if it was just a Reddit clip, but he made a comment about like good mid laners aren't the people who win games when their team's doing well. The good mid laners are like the people who carry their team when they're having a good game and their team's having a bad game. This is where maybe defines if he's a good mid laner in Sumail's book. Because his team's really not having a good game at all. The only time their supports are going to have impact now is through team fights. And that's not really something that LGD are ready to take yet, I feel like. Well, CDEC probably won't let them. But it's all on this Lina, and once the Sand King gets Blink, which he has now, between those two, they have to kind of share the workload.
Well, we'll hope for the best case scenario then on LGD side. Now they have the Blink Dagger, but CDEC, they don't know, but they should be able to guess. Meanwhile, stacking up the runes, double damage.
He's going to show now.
He is? Oh, that's unfortunate. Old 11.
I don't think they're particularly looking to take a fight, because they see CDEC's fairly clumped up on their side of the map.
They're smoked up though. This
if they
could be
can
really
find a
big.
pick, it's good.
So we'll look to Old 11. I'm pretty sure they know.
Oh,
Immediately go into the Crystal Maiden. Not the ideal kill, but now the lasso comes back in. They go into the Lina, into the ship. Bad idea, maybe. Actually, no. Maybe actually dodges it with the Yule Scepter just in the nick of time, but still will die to Shade. Flyby, Omni Slash will use into Yao. They get themselves 2 very nice kills. So, okay, looks like you were right in this point where you're saying they should not be fighting, especially when you have CDEC so clustered up. But on the bright side, Morphling gets out. He gets assist gold. He still needs to climb the network. This feels like one of those games you should have gone for the Travels instead of the Treads, so you can at least rat a bit more.
Maybe, I'm not so sure. But yeah, from CDEC's perspective, it's like the perfect hero tanks the gank, Conker's in the perfect position, his spells work on top of the Batriders, and then their course can come in, clean up, 2 Bloodstone charges on the Storm on top of... did he get both kills, or was it only the one? He got one of them. So, good pocket change for him, leading the net worth by a good amount now. And LGD just don't have any like wind behind their sails right now. There's no momentum. And maybe they can like kill a CM here, but who really cares?
Wow, that was really fast. I mean, if Ami gets the kill, that's good, right? Shade, okay. Should be dying to the Remnant. Not really, he blinks out.
Dire's middle tower.
Far away, run away, friend, run away. And so he gets out in 100 HP. I don't know, I feel like these tiny details, I mean, this is just me being optimistic as usual, but Ami getting the kill, that's just extra gold which he really needs right now.
Gold from my chest.
I wouldn't say that's you being optimistic at all. That's like, it does matter, for sure. And the Sand King not dying there and giving up another charge to the Storm is a big deal. That's like, I think the first thing that's actually gone favorable for them in terms of trades the entire game. Actually, maybe the tier 1 tower push, but in terms of hero trades.
You want to go here into Flyby, really time the stuns perfectly into the Wukong's command as well. The lasso will come on, Flyby will die. Now, of course, Sand King, we'll see if he can pull off another miraculous escape. No Sandstorm to help him this time as Demons. Okay, never mind. Fire and Ice, very nice combo going on here. And actually, June gets himself that kill. So, this Bat Rat is actually quite fat. I mean, the 4-staff, Blink. Considering he was also in the safe lane 19 minutes in, and I'd say he's been quite active. He's done quite enough. 3-1 and 4. But let's not take away from the Conqueror as well. He's 4-0 and 7.
Yeah, Conker's like MVP from CDEC so far, I think. But for LGD, like I said, they didn't have any wind behind their sails, and they get 2 pretty important kills. And then Morphling's still farming. For everything that CDEC's doing well, the game doesn't look that bad for LGD. And most of that's down to the fact that they have this inherent team fight. So at some point CDEC are going to have to butt their heads against that wall. And maybe the LGD won't budge if CDEC don't have enough of an advantage.
Radiant's middle tower.
What is Victoria
under
doing?
attack.
Haste.
Oh, I think he's got the vision. Where's the
Scout.
Boundless Strike? Oh, they found him! How did they know? Oh, Victoria tanks the gank. He dies, but Victoria gets out.
What do you mean, how do they know?
Wait.
Like, how did he know he was there, or how did
Yeah, how
Bat
did he
have
know?
vision?
Oh, he had the flying vision. Okay.
Yeah, Firefly is flying vision, so
Double damage.
he just pressed his buttons quicker than the monkey did.
I don't think Monkey is paying attention. Because he...
No, it's very likely he wasn't, actually.
Top lane, Setsu with the double damage, trying to go here into Ame. I'm not sure you have enough damage and he has to back out, so
Dire's bottom
maybe
tower
if he can
is
get
under
there in the nick of
attack.
time, he has the phase boots, but I'm not sure he'll be able to make it. Laguna Blade? Nah.
And now CDEC are pushing in this bottom tower.
Dire's structures are
It's just
fortified.
setting a bit more dominance on the map. The CM has a
Dire's
Midas.
bottom tower is
The
under
Conk is
attack.
like 500 gold after this into an Atos.
Dire's
Fairly
bottom
weird
tower
Conquer item, but it's got a lot of value this game. Sand King relies so heavily on being able to burrow to get in and out of fights,
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
and then just good catch to enable the rest of their cores to do damage.
If you consider the range as well, it gives him two ways. He can break the Lincolns, find the Morphling, so at least you can X mark him. So that's also one of the
Oh yeah, that
possibilities.
as well.
Yeah. And I think
It's a really good item this game. It's pretty innovative.
it is.
You don't see it very often.
so Flyby just gonna spin TP out, go back to the middle lane. Nice option. So they get to tier 2. But Army getting the top tier 1. A bit more gold flying into his pocket.
Under attack.
At least it's a trade, right?
Mm-hmm.
It might not be equal, but a trade when you feel like you're behind is favorable in most situations.
Flyby needs to be careful, man. The epicenter is going to be channeled, and I'm going to look at timing. We're looking for the barrage strike to catch him just at the very end of that. Into the light strike already. Thank you, says old 11. They really messed up on that one.
That's just good execution on LGD though. They might not be having the best game for their supports, and maybe their draft is like, it doesn't synergize as much as they might like against what CDEC have, but their execution on these ganks is still top notch.
Oh, they're zipping all the way to the bottom lane. They already broke the link into the Morphling. Trying to go into him right now. The Wukong's come out and be there to zone them out, but they're not afraid. The Ghost Raptor and Army will save him just a tad from Setsu, and he's going to get out. But Victoria will be the sacrificial lamb. X mark into the ship. Okay. So this way, Demons gets himself some extra kill. Gold and
Backups here
the
though.
Midas. Oh, do they want to fight this? They have the rock. No Firefly. They could if they wanted to.
It's just about finding the right kind of angle, and their initiation with no vision is awkward.
Yeah, I mean CDEC, they are ahead in terms of the kills, but when it comes to vision, CDEC see more, way more.
And they also have a gem now, so anything LGD tries to get up, if CDEC is in the area, isn't going to last long. And this is really smart from the bat. It got picked up by the CM, so she went Midas into a gem. It's not something you usually see, but it should give them a lot of value this game.
Mm-hmm.
If the first 15-20 minutes were anything to go by.
Going to do Roshan right now. LGD, do they know? They do not have any vision around the pit.
And I think they'll be able to suss it out. They obviously don't want to contest with their Warlock being at the tier 1 mid and their Morphlings more than happy to just push out bottom in this situation. And now this is like CDEC's second wind after the Batrider's blink. They're going to feel like they can do something more with this. Whether that's tier 2 pushing or a fight, I think they'll be fine with either.
Morphling is so close to that E-Blade. Maybe that could be an item which helps to turn fights around for them, because they can quickly blow off the hero. But they are looking to jump into Setsu, I think.
If they can burn an Aegis, it would be nice, but it's low probability.
Oh,
Especially
Batrider
with
immediately
these two
going in for the
heroes.
lasso. They find the Warlock. Well, let the supports have all the glory for this one. They get themselves a kill with the off lane. That's good. This is a really hard game in general for the supports on the side of LGD. I mean, they tank the ganks multiple times so that the cores are enabled. But Storm Spirit with the Invis rune, he's not going to die to maybe and Victoria, but he can still go solo into Victoria. Easy Bloodstone charge. Does he go for a bit more? Won't find anything, just a creep wave.
No, but that queues up quite nicely for them to shove this top lane in. Without their Conquer though, I doubt they put the pressure on the tier 2.
Could be looking to pressure the mid again. I mean, look at Flyby. He's actually quite fat in terms of net worth. He's a bit behind the Morphling, but he has the Manta and the Diffuser, and that's more than enough.
He's also been pretty active. He's been involved in 12 kills, so he's making sure his net worth is still comparable while being involved in pushing all the towers.
Alright, CDEC. Stun does connect, but there's nothing else. Sanking could look to try and cut a creep wave.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, they know he's in the top half of the map.
And now that CDEC just want to go towards the top lane and shove that tier 2, I think.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
The main thing they have to worry about, I think, for now is just like overextending. If they can pick and choose the fights on their terms, which is generally how it's happening because they have the superior initiation and map control right now, and they don't get too like bloodthirsty, they're in such a good spot to use their advantage and
They
keep
might
it up.
actually get the kill here into Arme. They know he's there as well for the smoke. They need to break it. Great toss to break it. Immediately lasso, but the burst strike very nicely done into the Crystal Maiden ultimate. Will it be enough? That's a nice rock, cancelling everything. And boom, the ship kills off Victoria. But Arme, no more mana. He's not able to run anywhere. Upheaval's only going to do minimal, and of course Setsu finds the double. Probably will find Yao as well. LGD, this is too far behind, and they get the golem to boot.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, maybe he wasn't there the whole fight, and LGD, I feel really afraid for them. What's the comeback mechanism for them? What are the win conditions they need to win a team fight again, besides CDEC overextending?
Can you repeat the last bit of that? Skype was cutting out
No
at the
problem,
end.
Mike. What are the win conditions for them, besides CDEC overextending?
Dire's middle tower.
Right now, it's like they just have to make their ultimates do value, and they have no rock right now, so CDEC will feel really comfortable going for at least the first set of racks. Maybe they'll not go for a second set if LGD are lucky. Maybe they respect the defense too much, but they know rock's down. Like, I think you just go all in, get 2 sets here, or you just fight them.
They can. They do get the burst strike, but the rod of 8 stars, Yo sets up into the air. BKB onto the storm. Goodbye, storms. By Sanking. And he's just going ham. Maybe can do absolutely nothing. Can they save him? He's just going to deny himself.
Dire's middle barracks.
And he still has the Aegis. That's the really big part. Breaking the old Lincolns, and I think Morphling dies here. Wukong's command, let the frames drop, and boom, the ship's not going to kill anything. And now they want to try to look for the burst strike. Blink. Ooh, catches 2. E-Blade will not be enough to kill the Storm Spirit off. Oh, that's sad. That's really sad. And just like that, they lose the lane of Barracks. LGD. Well, I guess you can motivate yourselves and say this is just the first game of the day.
I suppose it isn't over, but it's looking pretty bleak. Like, they got nothing. There was no trade whatsoever. CDEC just took from them. And now they have a plethora of money to spend.
So LGD, I mean, usually they are the ones to outplay the other teams. Maybe they had a long night. Not sure how they wanted to play against CDEC.
I'm gonna go out on a limb, and this could be wrong, but I feel like CDEC will have done a bit more research from the games yesterday, or they might have learnt more from like how LGD were winning.
Could, but why would you say that?
It's kind of just like a gut feeling thing, but I feel like LGD probably think they're the better team. And when you think you're the better team, you don't research as much as someone who's like going in as a quote-unquote underdog.
Okay.
That being said, it could also just be the fact that LGD have 2 supports accomplish nothing in the early game. CDEC hit a huge run of momentum, and this Batrider hero, who hasn't really accomplished too much in any of the games we've cast, has had a really high impact game. In conjunction with the Conquer, they've been setting everything up for CDEC, and the 1 or 2 things that LGD did well were very low impact. They like got 1 or 2 towers from it, but everything that CDEC did was like, it generated momentum, generated advantage, and then when they took the slightly bigger plays, they got Roshan, they got towers. It just kind of boils down to the fact they have more play this game.
So some bans they could actually potentially look at. Hold on, bottom lane. Flyby in a bit of trouble. But no, he's gonna find himself a free kill in Victoria and a free Bloodstone charge for Shade as well. The lasso catches Sanking, and I don't think he's going anywhere but the grave. So they take themselves 2 free kills again on the side of CDEC. More Bloodstone charges. This is a really amazing Storm Spirit game.
He hasn't died. Like, he's so happy.
Kunkka as well. Like if anything, the highlight heroes of the Summit qualifiers have basically been Clockwork and Kunkka and Storm Spirit as well, because like we talked about how Storm suffers in the lane, but you were right from the draft. You said that you would doubt it, but because the way these teams play it, Storm Spirit always has a good game.
Last pick advantage as well, right?
That's
It might not always be the most favorable at the early stages of the game, but they pick this hero knowing well what's going to happen.
He wants to go into Old 11. Oh, pushes him onto the cliff. He's silenced. There's nowhere to go. The Usceptor to dispel the silence, but I don't think he's running anywhere. Vortex, nope. One more Bloodstone charge.
No buyback.
First Shade. But 15 seconds.
Yeah, respawn talent's pretty good when you're super low level.
Will they consider jumping Army? I mean, Army is all alone. He has a replicate, but still.
At this point, it's just about like Roshan for them. Unless LGD overextend to the point where they lose the really important heroes, which I actually think are going to be the Warlock and Lina, then CDEC will just continue pushing lanes in and wait for Roshan now. The Jug finished his Scaddy, the Storm's really close to finishing his Hex. By the time those are done, that's done, Aegis will be available, I think. The CM's also got a Lotus Orb. Everything's just coming really cleanly together right now.
You know, CDEC, like you said, you know, playing off a script, and it's been pretty much perfect Dota, or almost perfect Dota coming out from them. And waiting for the Roche, which just came up a few seconds ago. This is really nice. Well, LGD, they know that this is going to happen. They want to try and catch the Storm Spirit. Burst Strike, surprise factor, not really there. And now they're just going to zip back in. Oh, beautiful. Initiating to 2 heroes. The Burst Strike's going to be there, but where's the goal? Only onto 1, not the ideal thing. Flyby actually could be enough to bring down Army. Army slash, yep. Do they have enough? Army! Ah, he actually TP's out just in the nick of time. But now here comes Bat Rider being the lasso. He's going to find maybe. Maybe if he dies here, this could be a disaster. When the Wukong's come out, it's not going to do that much damage despite having the Basher. And the upheaval's going to slow. But when you're such mobile heroes like a Storm Spirit, he doesn't really care. He's just going straight for Victoria. Afraid of the Bash, but now that he kills the Monkey, he can go straight for Yao. And Army back into the fight. Well, he's going to go into Strength Morph. But no damage. Hey, it's alright. Army goes down. eBay not going to do anything. And it's a disaster. It's good game. LGD get wiped. And CDEC take game 1 very, very convincingly.
This is not what I expected game 1 to look like, but CDEC's draft kind of hit at all stages of the game. LGD's didn't, so CDEC won. I wish it was that simple, but it's the easiest way to condense it.
Well, I mean, don't worry about this, guys. It's only game 1. Hopefully LGD will be able to pull themselves back into some good form, show the form which they've had. I mean, it could be a bit of a mental issue, it's a mental obstacle where, you know, you're so close every single time. If they lose a 3rd qualifying land spot, that could destroy you, actually.
I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe they're tilted from losing to, you said LFY, right?
Yeah, both times.
Well, it's a best of 5. They have a lot of professional and like vets on their team. So professional is the wrong word, but they have plenty of people who've been in the scene long enough. They should be able to reset from a game like that. And I think they'll really just put it down to their draft, because their play wasn't bad. Like, their execution was pretty good. They just didn't really have much say in what happened in the game. And a lot of that was CDEC's credit.
Oh wells. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, game 1 going very, very easily to CDEC. We'll be back for game 2 shortly. This is the Summit 7 Chinese Qualifier.